Hi everyone, I'm Nick Altmeyer with linkinglewiscounty.com, filling in today for Rebecca for today's episode of Hear All About It. So today we have Judelle White with us, who is the the executive director at Constable Hall. So welcome today, Judelle.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
We appreciate having you in today. So actually, you're kind of new in your position. You actually took over as the director of Constable Hall back in August, which was going into your off season. So kind of prepared over the winter months to get everything ready for the season. So what are some of the things that you worked on over that time?
So the way that it kind of goes, of course, I come from a music background, and we say that like conducting, everything is a series of preparations. And I would say that the same is true in a seasonal organization like Constable Hall. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of grant writing, there's a lot of planning for the season as far as the calendar, there's, constantly conversations about, what are we going to keep the same, what are we going to do differently, and then of course me just getting to know the organization and getting to know the history. Mm-hmm. So it's been great, but it's also been a little overwhelming, but it's been a really, really great start to the season so far.
And it's worth mentioning that you are a local native of Boonville, so you are somewhat familiar with the Constableville area, and I'm sure that you had visited Constable Hall prior to taking over as the director there.
So it's funny, I come from Boonville, big city, metropolis, at least comparatively to Constableville. It's funny that you mentioned that because I actually had never been to Constable Hall before interviewing there. And that's kind of, I think it speaks to this kind of like visibility issue that I think many organizations have like ours. There's such a deep and rich history, and anybody who goes there will say that, it's magnificent, and it really is, it's majestic. And it's my hope that more people who are so local will get to experience that and to be able to enjoy it and learn about all the history and the building and all of that.
It really is a great place, and if there is anybody in the county that hasn't had the opportunity to go visit there, I would highly recommend it as well, because anytime that I've visited there, I think I told you beforehand before we turned the camera on that I can spend 2, 3, 4 hours at a time in there just because there's so much history and the people there are so knowledgeable and sharing the information. The grounds are so large and there's so much going on there as far as your gardens and everything like that. So it really is a hidden treasure here in Lewis County.
It is a hidden treasure, and it's funny because, we say that it has such a deep and rich history, but it's also, many people don't know this, but it was used as a family home all the way up until 1947.
Right.
So it is pretty recent, and, that gives us the advantage that it's also been preserved really, really well.
Right.
So it never became, many people don't know this, but there are a lot of historic homes that became different businesses or became something else.
Right. Or sit dormant for a long period of time
before they were restored. Yeah, before they were restored, and that really wasn't the case with us.
Right.
It was a family home until 1947, and then went directly into being restored to what it is now, and it opened for the public in 1949. So we have that advantage, and it's really special.
Okay, so part of the reason that we asked you to come in today is first we wanted to introduce you to the community as the new director of Constable Hall for the season, and also you have some events coming up. So I think one of the first ones is going to be on June 19th, and that's going to be your Father's Day cruise-in. So tell us a little bit about what's going to be going on that day.
Yeah, so our this is, I would say, our biggest event of the season. There's a lot going on. It's also our 50th year of doing it, so that's really exciting that we've been doing it for 50 years.
Right.
It's kind of monumental for us.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll start at about 10 a.m. We'll go to about 3:30, 4 o'clock. There's a cruise-in, there's a craft fair, chicken barbecue that starts at 11:30. Mm-hmm. The Lowville Village Band is going to be playing at 1 o'clock. There's going to be plants for sale in the garden. There's a pie and bake sale. I think I might have already said that, but there's a bake sale. Mm-hmm. There's just a lot going on. There's going to be activities for kids. So it's going to be a really, really fun day. Rain or shine, so if we get rained out, we're still going to be there having fun, hopefully.
Right. And you did mention that there is events for kids, so it's a great family-oriented day. Bring the whole family out and spend a few hours at the hall, get some food, and like you said, there'll be vendors there, cars to look at, things like that as well.
Yep, there's going to be plenty to do. Admission's only $5. Kids 12 and under are free.
Okay.
All military with your ID is going to be free.
Okay.
So
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
And then you also have a couple other upcoming events for the summer, and these are kind of fundraising events, I assume, to help keep the hall going and fund a lot of the things that you do there. So on July 8th, you're going to have a golf tournament. So how do people find out more information about that?
You can send an email directly to our email at Constable Hall. I'll send it to who needs to get it. It's going to be on July 8th at the Ledges.
Okay.
It is a 50 and older golf tournament.
50 and older.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what's the registration fee for that?
It is, I want to say it's $35 per couple.
Okay. But more information will be available a little further down the road for that one. And then you also mentioned you have a summer concert that's coming up on July 16th.
Yeah, Saturday, July 16th, we're having the Monk Row Trio. They're based out of Utica. They are phenomenal. They're a jazz trio. I actually did a workshop with Monk Row when I was in high school. It goes way back, but they're fantastic. They did our summer concert a couple years ago, and people they absolutely loved it. So we asked them back. And it's going to be a dinner as well. So there's going to be food, and there will be a cash bar as well. So it's going to be a really fun evening.
Perfect. Okay, and again, that's on July 16th, so more information on that will be forthcoming as well, I'm sure. So we really appreciate you coming in today. It sounds like you have a lot of exciting events planned at the hall for this summer. Is there anything else that we didn't get a chance to talk about that you wanted to mention?
I would just say, it goes back to, if you've never been to the hall, just come by, introduce yourself. I'm always there. Well, when we're open, I'm always there. So I would just love to meet more members of the community and, get them involved and interested, and just to say hi.
And what are the normal hours for the hall? Is it just a weekend thing, or are you open on the weekdays as well?
So we're open from Wednesday to Sunday. Mm-hmm. Wednesday to Saturday, we're open from 10 to 4, and on Sundays, we're open from 1 to 4.
Okay. And it's seasonal?
It is seasonal, from Memorial Day to about Labor Day.
Okay, yeah, perfect. Well, thanks again, Judelle, for coming in. We really appreciate meeting you, and hope you have a lot of good success with your events this year.
Thanks for having me.